So welcome back, everybody, to some more compact claustrophobia. In the last stream, we finally managed to get this 3x3 compact machine up and running, so we finally now have a tiny little bit more space than this initial compact machine that we started in last time. Now, you may notice right off the bat there, we do have one small problem, and that small problem is that when we move from one compact machine into another compact machine, we always spawn right in the middle of the compact machine. So if I go in here, we spawn in the middle, and then if I right click to go back, we spawn right in the middle of the compact machine. And so the problem with that is that obviously with this compact machine, we have our hoppers in the way, so that every time we come back, we get stuck in the hoppers. We have to break the hoppers to be able to actually move around. Now, what you can do is you can shift right click with the personal shrinking device in your hand, and it will set an entry point. So now, if we go into our new compact machine and then right click to go back, we actually end up in this bottom right hand corner here, making it much easier for us to actually move between the tiny compact machines and go about doing our business. Now, one thing we're probably going to have to do in today's stream is quite a bit of wall smashing for resource generation to make some machines, because Chapter 2 here, Infinite Tiny Space, does introduce us to quite a few new mods and quite a few tech-related mods that are quite resource-heavy. For example, one of the first quests here is to make a sawmill. The sawmill requires some copper, it requires some redstone, some gold. It also requires more iron, more glass, more tin, just a whole host of stuff that we really don't have a ton of right now. Even the saw blade here requires even more iron and some copper ingots. And so what I've gone ahead and done between this stream and the last stream is I have set up a new macro shortcut on my keyboard. And so what we should be able to do, and in fact I'm looking for my crafting station, which is here in my inventory. Let me see, what do we have? We don't really have any wood, so real quick, I am going to grow this bonsai tree here, but I've set up a little macro key so that hopefully what I should be able to do is just place two pickaxes, one in inventory slot 1, one in inventory slot 2, press the button, and it should automatically do the whole pickaxe switching trick for me, thus making my life a lot easier, and also hopefully the life of my my keyboard a lot easier as well. Now, we did just receive some poop, and normally what we've been doing up until now is eating that poop for the massive amounts of saturation that it gives you. However, I did take a sneak peek at the next couple of quests in the quest book, and one of the quests, that being, I believe, the big boom quest here. Actually, I think we need it for the gunpowder, for the TNT, but here we have what's poopin' good looking, which wants us to get a bucket of sewage, and sewage is made in our wooden barrel with water and with poop, and so it is also probably a fairly good idea for us to keep a hold of some of this poop. I think we are going to need quite a bit of it in today's stream. But real quick, what I am going to do is if we head on through to the tiny compact machine, and I'm going to make, hopefully, some kind of pickaxe. I guess we'll go with a cobblestone one, as that's what we have the resources to make. And then now, if I put that right about here, and I hit my keyboard macro key, look at that, chat. Look at that. I'm not touching my mouse. I'm not touching my keyboard. I could go take a walk, take a hike, go mountain biking, pop down to the store in a socially distant and responsible way, and when I come back I just have an inventory full of junk and two broken pickaxes. The one downside, of course, is that once your pickaxe breaks, we do end up in a situation where you just slam the wall over and over and over again with your fist, which is not ideal. So we might have to do a little bit of that in today's stream, because we are quite low on resources, as you've seen already, and we do need quite a few more resources if we're going to progress on into Chapter 2. Now, before we do any of that, though, I think the biggest resource that we are lacking right now, and one of the things that we need so much of, is wood, right? At the moment, we have one bit of dirt with one bonsai spruce sapling on top of it, and it takes forever to grow. So I think what we should do is potentially get another chest, because this one is getting a bit full. But I think what we should do is we should grab our dirt, and maybe even a few more blocks as well, and to start with, make our new compact machine into basically a little tree farming room. Now, I did also notice between episodes that there is another quest that I've kind of neglected in the last stream, and that quest is this one right here, the watering can quest. This handy gardening tool makes waiting less of a chore. Hydrate. And this thing doesn't seem too bad. It requires 4 copper and 1 bucket. and of course some water, which right now I don't think we have, but again, should be fairly easy for us to get with our crucible, which we should probably set up sooner rather than later. We do also have 4 seeds in our inventory already, which is fantastic. So real quick, I'm just going to go and I think for now, do I want to replace this? Yeah, I think we do. I also don't know if I should be tearing down this contraption over here, like this small compacting machine that we have. I think we almost certainly are going to use it at some point in the near future to make another tiny compact machine. Because remember, we can make as many of these as we want now. We could make, you know, tiny compact machines inside tiny compact machines, inside tiny compact machines, inside tiny compact machines forever and ever and ever. There's no limit to how many of these we can make now. It's just really a limit of how fast we can get the modularium, right? And how fast we can get the iron, the uranium, the redstone, and that kind of thing. Which, again, shouldn't be too bad if you can get a lot of cobblestone pickaxes and just hit the wall a lot. So space is quickly becoming not too much of an issue. The issue is just how big the space is that we have, right? Because we can have as many of these 3x3x3 rooms, but we can only, at the moment at least, have a maximum of a 3x3x3 room, which is a little bit tedious to say the least, right? So let me see here. Do we have enough copper? We do indeed. We got 4 there. And do we have enough iron? We do indeed, actually. We have bang on 3 bits of iron in our inventory. Now, the next question is, where in the world do I want to put this crafting station? I think for now, this is fine. Yeah, so if we go ahead and craft up a bucket, like so, and then if we go 1, 2, 3, and 4, that gets us a watering can. I'm hoping that over in our tiny machine here, this is almost done. And in fact, it is. We got 300 solid seeds left to go before this turns into water. And I think I'll also just replace the crucible here with water, stick the water in the middle, and then use that to hydrate all of the other crops. I'm also going to go ahead and set my spawn point like right there, or my entry point, so I don't spawn in the water when we come back in the future. And while we wait, we should probably also go ahead and right-click a couple of times to turn all this into farmland. We, of course, don't have to. We could make a hoe and do this the old-fashioned way, but I feel like there's no real reason not to, especially given that it does give us access to those seeds and thus the ability to get water in the future. But that is done. We'll go ahead and break that. Throw that down like so. That should allow us to fill up our watering can. Oh, it takes a whole bucket per time. Oh, okay. I was not prepared for that. I thought that it was actually going to, I thought that was going to allow us to, like, fill up the bucket infinitely. The watering can from Extra Utilities works in a little bit of a different way. And so I think, chat, that it's finally time for us to utilize the new macro and try and get some, maybe a cobblestone pick and, like, an iron pick. Or maybe just a cobblestone pick and a wood pick to get more cobblestone, to make more cobblestone pickaxes. I think that's probably the way to go. We do also have caches in the pack. These ones right here from Thermal Expansion as well. These are kind of like storage drawers or barrels, if you've used either of those mods. They allow you to hold, to store a lot of any one singular item. So we could start putting like all of our wood or all of our, you know, gold grit or anything like that into these if we start to get a lot of it, because otherwise, you know, they start to fill up these chests very, very quickly. Get rid of this, get rid of this, put water here, and that should get the job done. Can we put some saplings in here? Does that work? No. Let me check the list real quick. Do we have anything else we can put in here to make water? You can put in regular saplings, leaves, seeds, and apples, none of which we have right now. You can sift leaves to get apples, although, again, I don't know where we're going to get leaves from. Oh, and you can hydrate small bonsai oak saplings into regular saplings if you put them in water. Now, I don't know if you just drop them in water. It does consume the fluid, which is less than ideal. So it takes a full bucket of water to make a sapling there. But again, once we have that that infinite water, that shouldn't be too difficult. Look at the quest with the chest on it. Which quest are we looking at here? Is it in chapter 2? I may be blind, chat, but I do not see a quest. Oh no, this one right here, I am blind. Strong, independent tin box. None of that weak wood here. This box is stronger than any and can become even stronger and magical. Okay, so we've got the strong boxes from Thermal Expansion. I believe the basic strong box here has the exact same space or amount of space as a Minecraft chest. However, you can upgrade them, right? With, I think you need the upgrade kits. So these ones here, so once you get a Hardened Upgrade Kit, you can use that to upgrade it, and then a Reinforced Signalum and Resonant Upgrade Kit after that. I don't know if we really have what it takes to make Invar just yet. Or maybe we do, actually. If we're getting nickel... Oh, no, maybe we definitely do. Because we get iron grit and nickel. So, yeah, I guess we can make Invar Blend. At which point, the rest of this is fairly easy. We have the tin and the copper required to make bronze. And we also have redstone. So maybe we can make a Hardened Upgrade Kit. All right, let's give that a try. I think we do have the tin ingots required. We got some lead there. Do we have tin in here? Right here, beautiful. Let's go ahead and smelt some of that up in our currently non-existent furnace. Where did I put my furnace? The worst thing is that somehow I have managed to lose... Oh, it's in the other chest. Somehow I'm still managing to lose things despite the fact that we only have, 54 playable blocks right now. I'm still managing to lose items, which is madness. I think for now I'll also put these like here and here because they don't impede the growth of the bonsai saplings. And so... yeah, that should be fine. We'll get some tin cooking up there. All right, so over here, chat, we do now have a second bucket, so we can actually go and do that. Now we have an unlimited source of water, and thus we should be able to fill up our watering can here without actually, using any water. At which point we can increase the growth rate of these bonsai saplings here much, much faster. Now, of course, we do trade off the ability to have, even more bonsai trees down because of the fact that we have this water in the middle, but I think it's worth it given how fast these are now growing. And it does make getting wood significantly easier. And, oh, that sound effect gets me every time, man. But speaking of making things easier, I think the next step that we want to take here in terms of getting a more efficient wood or getting wood faster is the first quest in Infinite Tiny Space, that being the Sawmill. Very handy machine, yields twice the planks for your bonsai wood, and is a great way of making sawdust. Also used to make pulped biomass, which is a handy way to get more poop for when nature's calling is not frequent enough. Oh my goodness, we can make poop even faster? Oh, we can. So you put pulped biomass into sewage, and you get 3 poop. And as we said earlier, 1 poop with water gets you a bucket of sewage. So you're essentially tripling the amount of poop there, because you can use 1 poop to get a bucket of sewage, and then you can use the bucket of sewage to get 3 poop. So you can kind of get, an exponential amount of poop using that biomass there, which is very nice indeed. So if we're going to get this sawmill here, we would need a machine frame, which is 4 tin, 4 iron, and 4 glass. We need the saw blade, which is 6 iron and 1 copper. That's probably the most expensive part. A bunch more copper, 8 more copper in the copper gears, and then a gold, some redstone, and some wood. All of that doesn't seem too bad. I think right now, really the only thing we're lacking is iron. We definitely need a bit more copper, but I think mostly it's iron that we're low on because we used so much of our iron in the last episode for making this small compactor here. I think we should probably start smelting some of this stuff. Like if we head back, we can come back and do some more wall smacking in just a moment here. But if we get this stuff cooking, we do need a little bit of tin. So I'll get 1 cooking there while we wait, and we'll get the others cooking over here. It would also be really nice to get like a more efficient fuel, although I don't think we're really that close to it. I think for the foreseeable future, we will be using planks or sticks or the little bonsai twigs that we get here as our main source of fuel. But once we combine the watering can with the new sawmill, I think we're probably in for a significant increase to the rates at which we're getting wood, to where hopefully it's not not a problem, and we don't really have to worry about fuel. Oh no game. Okay, so it looks like you can poop directly into the water, and if you poop gosh dang it, if you poop directly into water, it turns the water into sewage, and thus breaks my unlimited water source. Gosh dang it. Okay, so now I need yet more seeds to be able to fix that. Okay, so I've got to be careful when I'm using my watering can to be like as far away from the water as possible. Because if I'm too close, then things get gross and I just poop in the water. You already have 2 water sources now. Is this the water source? I guess this might be a water source, right? I don't know if I can get rid of this sewage. I guess We can put it in a barrel maybe, right? No? I do have to get rid of this, though, which is somewhat awkward. Let me put this here for now. Can I stand in this without dying? I can, okay. Is this a source block? Oh, it is. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a fool. Is there anything else I'm missing here for the sawmill? So we're getting the iron and the copper for the saw blade. We're getting the wood. We're getting the copper. We've got the redstone. We're getting the gold. We're getting the tin. We're getting the iron. I guess glass, I think we should still have. Oh, no, we turned all of our glass into glass panes in the last episode. So we are completely out of glass, and we need at least 4. Now, I believe that we can crush down the diorite? Crushed diorite turns into... Oh, crushed diorite goes directly into dust. So I guess not, but we can definitely crush cobblestone. So I think I will do that. Again, space-wise, not really a whole lot of space to do. Again, I've got to get used to going this way to get deeper, and I did just change my entry point by accident, but yeah, space-wise, we don't have a ton of space here, but I think we've got hopefully enough space to do some cobble breaking. Maybe like, I can't, like this. And then if you, we do have vein miner, thankfully, so we can just shift break all of that. Fantastic. And then we should be able to turn, if I put the gravel there, that is going to get rid of my, I'll pick the sewage back up for now, because we don't need this bucket just yet. That does give us even more space in which to break down our gravel here. I think for the time being, I'll just leave that as gravel. We can always use that to make more dust or more sand later on down the line. For now, though, we just need 4 sand. Isaac, if you're still looking for a more efficient furnace fuel, you can make poop fuel with poop and wheat. Not sure if you've seen that yet. I have not seen that. Poop fuel. Oh yeah, this is a quest. I should really look at more of the quest, I guess. So over here in chapter 1, we have burn the rest. If the taste gets stale for your palate, try adding a hint of wheat and use it as fuel. So we can combine both poop and wheat to make poop fuel. Smelts 32 items. What's the default? Like, how much does oak wood smelt? So a normal plank of wood smelts 1.5 items, and the poop fuel smelts 32. Now, we can get quite a bit of poop. As we found out earlier in the stream, we can make poop with pulped bioblend and sewage. And sewage you get with water and poop. So how hard is the pulped bioblend to make? It needs pulped biomass, which is made in the sawmill. Presumably, we can put in maybe like wheat into here. We can put beets in there. Oh, we can put wheat in there. Okay. Not necessarily the most efficient way of doing it, you know, because we need wheat for the poop fuel as well. Although the saplings might be interesting if we get real saplings at some point. And the beetroot is a quest as well. There is a quest to get beetroot, I believe. Yeah, over here. Although I don't know how we're supposed to get beetroot. Or it can be found in coarse dirt. I'm surprised it doesn't show that on the... oh, it might be seeds. Right, you find seeds on coarse dirt. I see, okay. So we could do that with beetroot as well, although again, I don't think it's really necessarily worth it just yet. But if we do have poop, we can use it as fuel, which is always good. So now, chat, we got 30 iron, 22 copper, and 9 gold. Well, let's go ahead and start smelting up the sand here. And we do need yet more fuel, but thankfully we do have some sticks right here. Kapow. For now, I'll go ahead and accidentally right-click, but then throw some fuel in there to get that smelting. And while we're waiting for that to smelt, let's head back, craft up the reception coil, which is just 2 redstone and 1 gold. I actually thought we had a lot more redstone than we do. And in fact, we probably have some in here. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, I thought we had stacks and stacks of redstone. It turns out, thankfully, we do have stacks and stacks of redstone. We're not using our auto-clickers right now, which feels like a waste. Especially because our power generation in the other room also isn't using anything. But we just don't have the space, and they're not that fast. I feel like it's just faster for us to get our own pickaxes and just hammer the wall quite quickly. But other than that, let me clear some space a little bit. I think we are pretty much good to go to make the sawmill here. Once we've got our 4 glass, which is also ready to go, we can pop back to our crafting station. And then unfortunately, the inventory here covers up the bookmarked sawmill, but nevertheless, we can go and craft up a tin gear, use that tin gear to make ourselves a machine frame, use the copper and iron to make a saw blade. Then, of course, grab 2 more copper gears like so. And then I think that's pretty much everything apart from some wood, which, again, we have just put into this chest here to make our very first... Every time, man. Every time. I've got to get used to the to not holding on to the personal shrinking device when I'm trying to right-click things. We should have everything it takes to make our sawmill. Nice. And for now, I think I'm going to put this here. It's a really janky spot, and I will quickly swap my entry point just in case I spawn inside the sawmill. But it's right next to our decay generator, so it is getting power. And so finally, chat, we should be able to drop our bonsai oak cuttings directly into the sawmill, and it should turn each one into 2 planks. Whereas previously, you would craft 4 into 4 planks. Now you're getting 2 planks out of every one, effectively doubling the amount of planks that we're getting from each bonsai cutting, which is super nice. Someone in the Twitch chat says, make more rooms. That is a good idea. I have contemplated making more rooms. And it might not be that hard, honestly. So to make another tiny compact machine here, we need wood, which now we can make fairly quickly. We need 4 compact machine wall, which is made with 16 modularium. And then we need a machine casing, which is basically just more modularium and redstone, which we have a bunch of. So the question is, how easily can we make 20 modularium? It means that we need 80 iron, 80 uranium, and 20 redstone. Do we have that? Is a good question. We have some uranium in here. Most of our stuff is in the other room. We do have 64 iron grit on us. I think we might be able to do it though, chat. Let's take a look. So in here we have got 18 more uranium. That's definitely not 80. I think we need to make another iron pick. I think that's our problem right now. We do have the iron required. We've got the 80 iron. And we've got the redstone. I think we're just missing the uranium. And the uranium, of course, just needs an iron pickaxe. So, if we go ahead and craft up another one of those. And in fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and craft up 2. We've got quite a bit of iron. We'll do it like this. We are, of course, as always, running out of space. I should also try and make sure that I put the same items like in the right chests, right? Like right now, I think we have, you know, a little bit of, let's say, silver grit in here, and then also more silver grit in the other chests. And thus, I think we're being a little inefficient with our chest space. But if we go ahead and do something like this, we should fairly quickly get all the uranium that we need to actually make another tiny compact machine. Any second now. Kapow. Nice. All right. So, finally, chat, once again, we should now have everything it takes to make yet another tiny compact machine. Nice. Now, the question becomes, how do we want to do this? I quite like the idea that somebody posed in the Twitch chat, and by idea I mean they said they did it and now I want to do it as well, of having one kind of hub room that has all of the compact machines in it. So I think I'm going to tear this down and rebuild it inside the new compact machine, and I'm going to have one compact machine that's basically just there to be a gateway to all of the other compact machines. Now, one problem that we are going to run into, and that we keep running into again and again, is the fact that we don't have enough storage. Thankfully, now that we have a tiny little bit extra space, we can go ahead and do something like this, at least temporarily, and give us a little bit more space. But yeah, I'm thinking that we just put our new tiny machine, which I've put in there, like just right here for now. And then some people in the Twitch chat did also mention that if you just right-click this machine without a personal shrinking device, you can actually rename them. So I'm going to call this one farming for now. So now when we look at it, we can see right away underneath the redstone flux there, it says machine farming. And then this one is currently unused. I'm going to call this one maybe small compactor. We've not been in there yet, so we need to pop in just to generate the room. There we go. And then I'll call this one small compactor, because this is where we're going to rebuild our small compactor that we just took down. Now to do that, we're doing at least one more glass pane, because unfortunately they do break when you take them. So if memory serves me right here, it is energy right there, machine controller here, it is output there, input on top of that, it's then glass pane in the back corner there, it's bricks here, here, and here, and then it is a stone slab like there and there, and then hoppers, it's the upper there, and then a regular hopper right there, which is what we are missing. Yep. Okay, I do need to reset my spawn point, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and set that like, I think I'll set that maybe like here, like that. So hopper and upper, like that. And there we go. We have a room dedicated to our tiny compactor. I think I will also put down at least one of the decay generators in there. So yeah, I'll put down our decay generator here and our block of uranium right there, and that should continue to provide that with power. So now, going forward, if we want to make any more rooms, we can do so with this pre-existing tiny compact machine. We have our hub room right here, which I think is probably going to be, for now at least, where I keep all my storage. So I'll have like a chest there. I'm going to go move the other chest, which could prove tricky because you can just shift right click to pick up certain chests, but you obviously can't do that across dimensions. So what I'm going to have to do is just kind of grab everything from there and move it manually, which is fine. So yeah, we'll do this for now, just to give us some more storage space. And at some point in time, I'll probably go through and try and organize these as well. Hint, Strongbox for the win. People have been talking to me about Strongboxes, but I've not made one because, again, the default Strongbox is tiny. And to upgrade it, we need a Hardened Upgrade Kit, right? Let me Google this. I want to see how big the Hardened... I'll just get Strongbox thermal expansion. Okay, so basic has 18 slots, which is smaller than a default chest because the default chest has, 27? Yeah, 9, 18, 27. So a default tier 1 Strongbox, that being this guy right here, if we just make this, it actually becomes worse. You add tin to a chest and it becomes worse. You get 2 lines. If you then make it into a hardened box, so if you make a Hardened Upgrade Kit, one of these right here, and add that to the Strongbox, it then can hold 36 slots. So you get an extra line, you get 4 lines. So the Hardened Upgrade Kit is better than a regular chest, but by 1 line, right? And then from there on, you have to get a reinforced upgrade kit, which is this one right here, which requires Electrum. The Electrum shouldn't be too bad, nor should the silver be too bad, but the hardened glass might be a little tricky for us to get, as it needs obsidian. So I don't think the hardened glass is really something we have the luxury of making just yet. Yeah, we need pulverized lead, obsidian, and pyrotheum dust. That's if we don't have a... although... Yeah, no, I don't think we do have the ability to make that just yet. I think I definitely will move towards making them, but I think right now we don't need them. I think at the moment, our 2 double chests are doing okay. I think I might save that for like a future stream. For now, we'll just slap this down like that. Because we've really not made much, if any, progress in the quest lines here. And I kind of want to start moving through some of these quests. So, this requires niter. So we got our first bucket of sewage by accident, but we have it. Next up, it is niter. Niter, very creative description, useful in gunpowder. So we can make niter here by putting dust into sewage. It says it doesn't consume the fluid, so I assume we just drop dust into sewage, and that's how that works. So we do have a bucket of sewage lying around in here somewhere. And I think for now what we'll do is we'll just do something like this so it doesn't flow away. Then from there, we do have some gravel lying around. We might even have a little bit of dust. We do indeed. Fantastic. So, but it does turn the sewage into water. Okay, that's interesting. From there, though, we can just drop our poop back into it and make more sewage. You don't get a ton of niter. You get 2 each time, and we do need 8 to complete this here. So we do need actually more poop. My fears have been realized. We're finally out of poop. You can make more poop with this pooped blend, but the blend isn't necessarily the easiest to make. Although maybe it's not too bad, actually. We could probably get quite a bit of wheat quite fast. Let me do some testing here, chat. If we get some wheat seeds, how fast, and we get our watering can, of course, how fast can we get a lot of wheat is my question. So we'll head on through to farming. I'm going to replace these with wheat seeds. How quickly can we make these grow? They do grow faster just by us being on top of them. And then the watering can on top of that makes them even faster. Because if we can get wheat pretty quickly, I think it's probably worth trying to get poop this way as opposed to trying to just shift for it. Oh, I have poop already? Apologies. I am completely blind. I do have 3 poop. Look at that. Okay, we have 3. That's good. I am going to hold on to it, though, because I want to try and get... exponentially multiply my poop with this wheat. I think if you throw dust into flowing sewage, it doesn't consume it. Ooh, that's interesting. I will give that a try. Just because if that does work, then that's fantastic. Let's give that a go. So if we take our poop, drop it in there, and then if we maybe do something like this, and then give that a try. Oh, it totally works. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you, Jamie, in the Twitch chat. All right. That does work. So now we just need to hammer basically one more piece of gravel here down into dust. Drop that in right about there, and kapow, look at that. We've got all the niter required. Nice. All right. So next up is gunpowder. No description. It requires 4 niter, 1 sulfur, and 1 sawdust. So sawdust we are getting, thankfully, from our... Also, I'm going to move this. Now that we've changed our storage system, I'll put this like here for now. So we should have sulfur from earlier. We did some sifting. And we also have sawdust as a byproduct from our sawmill. And so it shouldn't be too difficult, actually, for us to make our first bits of gunpowder. How much does the quest require? Just the 1. Nice. And then from there we have Big Boom. So I think this is how we make steel with TNT. So we need 5 gunpowder and 4 sand to make TNT, of course, the standard recipe. We don't, unfortunately, I think, have any more sulfur. We don't. So we are going to have to get our sieve back out. And as per usual, we're once again running into a very confined amount of space. And also, unfortunately, the percentage chance on sulfur is not very high. So our odds of getting it here are not crazy. I think it's like 8%. %, which really sucks. Is there a better way of getting that? We can rock crush granite, but the rock crusher also seems a little bit out of our reach right now. So I think really all we just have to get a ton of dust. Thankfully, the cobblestone isn't too hard to come by, although it does look like we've maybe used most of it. We've got 12 in our inventory here. Let's go and try and get a bunch of dust here. We've got to be careful with the gravel because we're using gravel on the ground. So we can't necessarily vein mine as much. Oh, never mind. I guess we can block that off until we need it, right? Like we don't have to, it doesn't need to be running at all times. Can you upgrade your mesh? Unfortunately, not. We can upgrade the mesh, but upgrading the mesh doesn't give us... at that point, we no longer get sulfur. If it was possible, there'd be like a little arrow here. For example, if we click on the mesh and we go over, you'll see that you can upgrade to like a flint stiffened mesh or even a diamond stiffened mesh, but the diamond stiffened mesh with sand just gives you prismarine and silver. So, oh, not sand, sorry, dust is what we're after, right? With dust, it just gives you redstone and yellorium. So if we upgrade our mesh, we suddenly stop getting sulfur. So unfortunately, despite the fact that we can upgrade it, upgrading it actually makes our chances worse because it deletes our chances of getting what we're after. But either way, now that we have sulfur here, we should be able to go ahead and combine our sulfur with our niter and our sawdust to make our second batch of gunpowder. Like so. And then I don't know if we have enough sand left. We don't. However, we can quickly maybe grab a little bit more cobblestone. I really thought we had... Oh, yeah, we do have another wooden pick. I was going to say, if we do this real quick, we can get some more cobblestone. Use that to get to the sand that we're after. And then we should be able to make our first TNT, which I believe is going to lead us into making our first steel ingots. All right. So now we have the sand. We can go ahead and make our first block of TNT. Kapow. And then let's have a look here. So this could be interesting, actually. So we have hard as steel, slightly hazardous, obtained by exploding iron blocks, not always successful. Oh my goodness, so steel grit. Oh, steel... Oh, I see. So steel grit is not what we're after. We're after steel blend. Oh no? Is there a third one? Hold on, let me look here. I see, yes. Okay, so 1 block of iron has a 75% chance of giving you 6 steel grit. I don't know if that's a 75% chance for each piece, or if it's just a 75% flat chance of getting 6 steel grit. Either way, we now need to find space to do that, right? I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't rebuilt this machine here. I also want to rename that to a small compactor. Can you greet my mom? Hi, BXUM_mom. Welcome. Hi, have a great day. I hope you're doing well. All right. Yeah, we might want to... Do I want to make another tiny compact machine for this? I don't want to blow up, like, my chests or anything that we have. So, I will eat one of these here so we can regen our health. But yeah, I'm not entirely... I guess... Do I want to make up another small compact machine? You know, I'm just going to take this room. I know we're going to waste some glass here. Like, I'm going to lose a glass pane, but I'm just going to tear this down again real quick. Because what we can do is I can just stand behind, like, some cobblestone or something, which I think will definitely, like, absorb the blow. Right? I'm not so... I understand, by the way, that, the compact machine's not going to blow up. I'm worried about myself dying. Because we have to do this many, many times. Like, we need a lot of steel. Chat. A lot of steel. And if I'm going to have to do this, like, 40 times, we need a space to do it in. Obviously, for the first one, we've kind of commandeered this, this room here. I'm essentially thinking, if we do, like, this, and this, and this, and I kind of just stand over here, and we do this. Of course, chat. Of course. We get unlucky and don't get any steel blend on our first try. We had a 3 in 4 chance. 75% of getting... You need to throw the block? This is the kind of thing that would be very handy, pack developer, to write here in the quest book. Do not place the block on the ground. Throw the block next to the TNT. Gosh dang it. Can't you use more than 1 iron per explosion? That also makes a whole lot of sense. You could throw down like 10 stacks, not 10 stacks, like 10 iron blocks or something and then blow all those up. All right, you live and learn, chat. You live and learn. Okay, so we need another TNT because now we don't have one, and we also could probably do with starting to smelt all of this iron grit. So, okay. All right, so now all of our iron is smelted. Back over here, let's craft that up. So we've managed to acquire, chat, I think bang on 40 blocks of iron. Okay, so we are going to take our iron. I'm going to make another lever, like so. I'm going to dump most of this stuff out here. And then now, if we head back to our detonation zone, which is this room, hold on, I'm going to grab some cobblestone as well, just to save myself. So back in here, we're going to put down the TNT, the lever. I'm going to put some cobblestone here just so I don't die, ideally. Although I am low on health, so I might die, although I don't think I will. And then we're going to drop this here. This is right, chat? Just confirm. After the last catastrophe, I want to confirm 100% that if I flick the lever with the iron blocks on the floor there, that is the intended way for this to work. And that should, in theory, give me a 75% chance of getting 6 steel blend from each block of iron. So with 40 blocks, it means approximately 30 of them will, at 75%, about 30 of them should give us steel, which means about 180 steel. Maybe? If this doesn't work, I might just uninstall the pack. It totally worked. All right. And there we go. We got just over 3 stacks of steel grit, which we can now nice and easily smelt into steel ingots. And that means that next stream chat, we can come back and we can look at actually getting into some immersive engineering down here. And you'll see that the next quest there for a bigger 5x5 room is fairly close by. We're going to make, the Thermoelectric Generator. So it looks like we're also looking at potentially getting a better source of power fairly soon as well. On top of that, we have some more resource generation here over on the left. And then eventually that larger room. And then shortly after that, actually, an even larger room, which I'm very interested in. I wonder how hard it is to go from here to here. I assume probably like not as easy as it looks. And then there's even another one right there as well. Now we're talking. All right. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there.